Well, many of my listeners would probably know David Strickland as a coach on Marky Billson, Tri-Cities Sports Now. He has been the coach of the Tri-Cities Otters, I believe, since their inception, as well as the high school program at Science Hill. But now he's got another title on here, and it's owner of the team. I guess you're not like the NBA. You don't have a problem with the term owner or co-owner, as the case may be, David Strickland. Or do you? Should I say you are one of two governors of the Tri-Cities Otters?
Actually, there's about 16 governors in the Otters.
Oh, okay. Well, let me ask you this. Tell us a little bit about the ownership structure, because I know that, Michael Balleth used to be, we would have him on, and he was very interested in building a stadium for the Otters. So tell us now what the management structure is. I saw you online. Certainly there was listed as a co-owner, certainly a story in the John City Press on opening day. But what is the management structure now then of the Otters?
Right now we have a LLC partnership, and there's 16 people that are involved in the ownership of the Otters. Michael Balleth did a fantastic job with this, and of course I was involved with him from day one, and that vision that he had of a future facility of our own is still in the works.
Mm-hmm.
We just, initially, when we started looking at this, instead of a few of us, we decided to get a lot of us to do a little bit of lifting instead of a few of us doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Now,
So with that, I think we initially were talking with about 25 people, and ended up working out that there was 16 of us that are involved now.
Now, forgive my ignorance on this, but do all 16 have an equal share, David Strickland, or is it there are some minority owners and a majority owner? How does it work?
Yes, there are some minority owners and majority owners in the whole concept. There are 10 majority,
Mm-hmm.
and then 8 of them are minority owners.
Does anyone no one would have a 50% stake, though?
No.
Okay, so you still have, with the sort of things right there. Well, David, we didn't like how you played in goalie right there, and you have that sort of thing going on and all that. This is David Strickland. He is the new coach and co-owner of the Tri-Cities Otters. Now, you've been involved in the soccer community for some time. When I started this show and I would try to meet with people, I was somewhat surprised because, I've lived in Johnson City on and off since 1986, David Strickland, and I think I've got a pretty fair pulse on what the tastes are and such, and where to go against the grain and all this sort of stuff. But what I kept seeing was when I would say, yeah, I'm a sports talk show host, what's your favorite sport? Millennials telling me soccer. And it seemed like the majority of people were saying soccer. I've even heard President Donald Trump talk about the growth of soccer that he never thought he'd see happen in this country. We heard about this for years. I could point a Twilight Zone episode. I mean, black and white, talking about soccer's going to take over. Why has there been a boom, in your opinion, both locally and probably nationally in soccer, let's say, in recent years?
Well, soccer's just had a big grassroots movement, and at the youngest ages of 3, 4, and 5, kids can get involved.
Sure, Bumblebee soccer. Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah.
Sure, and it's very inexpensive to get involved. Some shoes, some shin guards, and socks, and you're ready to go. And what's happening now is generations are growing up. They grew up playing soccer, so they introduce it to their kids. And these kids are growing up and introducing it to their kids. So it's just being replicated. And it's like anything that anybody gets involved with. Some people it's hunting, some people it's basketball, some people, a guy today, a film producer I listened to a talk on, was his passion. You just catch that fire of it's the sport that you like. It's the sport that drives you. And the millennial ages are the ones who are the benefit of their parents. A lot of their parents played and introduced the game to them.
Mm-hmm.
Their parents, unless you were in a metropolitan area of certain places in our country, really weren't introduced to soccer. It was something that they heard of, it's been on TV, but it's from another country. So it's just more and more, the parents introduce you to what you
No, I get that. Yeah, certainly. I mean, you bring it down. When I was doing minor league baseball, I mean, some guy from wherever USA is an Oakland A's fan. I'm saying, why is it? Well, my dad loved the A's back in the '70s when they won their 3 straight world titles, and that was in their home. I can get that, and certainly I can recall. Even in the days of say the NASL or even the MISL, late '70s, early '80s, and such, that you'd hear a lot about kids are playing soccer, but you generally don't get a lot of attention for it in the media and all this. And so what you're saying, and I can see this, is that generation grew up and said, hey, maybe we should give a little bit of attention to the Otters or the MLS or what have you. We're talking to David Strickland. He is the coach not only of Science Hill, but of the Tri-Cities Otters and a co-owner. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Otters are 2-1-2. Coming off a tie. Opening day, you defeated North Carolina FC. I know that Taylor Gray had a goal for you. Who would you say are the players to watch right now on the Otters this season?
Well, Taylor Gray seems to have a lot going on for us right now. He's done really well. He's from Maryland, actually. Plays at a college called Reinhardt down in Georgia, near Atlanta. We have Stuart Hendry is an Australian player that we picked up that plays at Wingate University. He has been very instrumental in our midfield. George Stanley, who plays as a center back, has done exceptionally well for us, and so has Carlos Rubio in goal. That's played really well for us.
It seems to me, I know that the early Otters rosters had a lot of local presence, local schools and all that. It seems like if you're going to Wingate or Reinhardt, who I believe played ETSU in basketball this past year, that you are going for more of an international or at least a regional draw for your roster. Is that safe to say?
It is fair to say, but we have 5 players from ETSU on our roster.
Okay. Well, you got to tell us who they are.
Marvel Balomba is a center back. He's from France that plays with us.
I don't remember his name, yes.
Yeah. Quentin he's actually a local kid. He's a goalkeeper. That's out of Greenville, Tennessee. He's with us. That's playing. Josh has transferred in. He's not played with ETSU. He just transferred this fall in. Luke Halson is a player that he's just getting started with us. He had hernia surgery at the end of the season. So, we have some local flavor of guys that are here. And this is the first year that we've had that many players from ETSU, and those players are very good players. What's happened with the Otters is our first year we had to do it so quickly because Michael got everything approved and we had a short amount of time to get players in. So we did it with real quick tryouts, and we took the best of what we got, and it was a tough season. We just weren't good enough at that time. The second year, we got better. Our recruiting got better. Year 3, the word started to spread about how we take care of our players, and Michael set that up, that standard that we've tried to keep of looking after the players when they come in, get them involved in the community, treat them as really good people, give them good training facilities and good games. And this year, it's grown again because of that. So our reach is getting further out based on word of mouth of players returning. Like this year, we had 9 returning players from last year. And all of them brought someone that they recommended. So when you're trusting a good player to tell you about a good player, it helps.
We're talking to David Strickland, coach and owner of the Tri-Cities Otters, USL League 2. I talk a lot about on this show the area becoming more cosmopolitan and doing it through sports, David Strickland. And I wonder about getting bigger. I mean, this is the 4th tier of soccer in this country, a trickle down from the MLS, if you will. And when I saw that Nashville is getting a MLS franchise, I believe, next year, I said, hey, that United League team, What about the Tri-Cities? Why don't we start thinking a little bit bigger in all this? I'm curious, as an owner of the Otters, and you mentioned that you've got new facilities on your mind and all that, could you ever see where the Otters are actually a precursor to bigger things to come here in the Tri-Cities?
Yeah, I really can. From a business standpoint, there are some things we're going to need to do better. As a community, we're going to need to connect with them that draw more people to the game, that it becomes a very community-strong, supported group, just like in Chattanooga has a massive following.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get 10,000 a game for their Chattanooga team, and they are in a competing league called the NTSL. So, but they've got 12 years under their belt of structure, which they've done a really good job. So it's a building process that we'll get there. I'm excited that Nashville's getting an MLS team. It does nothing but helps us also. We're working on having a very good relationship with them. So, that players that are in our league, in the USL2, 80% of all players drafted into the MLS come through this league, the USL2.
All right.
80%. So these are future pros that are going on to the next level, whether that be at the MLS or the USL, which is Division 2. They're getting paid to play. These are the guys that are the up and coming.
Well, that is quite the statement. And yeah, with 5 players from the area on the roster, you talk about local pros and having that local feel and all that. I see a little bit of some of the draw of the Tri-Cities Otters. Your next game, I believe, is this Saturday at Wake and 7 p.m. Where is Wake?
It's Wake County down in North Carolina, down below Raleigh. North Carolina.
Well, you're 3 points back of them, so with 1 game in hand, so it's a chance to advance up the standings. You're 4 points back of the team that you defeated, shut out on opening day, North Carolina FC. They're actually 4-5, but because they played the most games, they've got the points out there. But a victory can, I guess, even you up with Wake in the standings. So, hey, let's not make this a stranger here. I've only got 10 seconds left in the show to remind everybody that tomorrow we'll actually be talking to Greg Brown, a Pittsburgh Pirates broadcaster, about some of this controversy with the Bucks and the Braves. It's Tri-City Sports Now. See you tomorrow at noon. For